Please go subscribe to the Rumble channel for Franchise Sports TV under the name FSTV22. Now, I'm using that Rumble channel for any purposes of me getting kicked off YouTube and also for more of my spicier joints. It's free as well. I have the freedom to say whatever I want to say as well. So go subscribe to FSTV22. That is Franchise Sports TV 22 on Rumble. Now, I haven't did a video. Oh, shut up. Stupid thing going off. Now, I haven't did a video in a long time based on the phone, but for the last probably 2 hours now, ever since I put that video up, I actually put the video yesterday, almost 12 hours ago. But the video when I said Shaq is the 6th greatest center of all time, I meant it. And some people can look at the facts, but I didn't know Shaq had these. I know Shaq had fans, but I didn't know he had absolute stands who don't look at anything or don't try to see other people's opinion. And that ain't just opinion. Just look at the facts and look at the stats. Now, there was a couple of things I left out of that video, other than Shaq's opponents in the finals have been the likes of Matt Geiger, Rick Smith, an old Rick Smith, older Dikembe Mutombo, and then one was Ben Wallace. But what happened when he faced Ben Wallace? The Lakers ended up losing. Who was the center that Shaq faced when he was on the Miami Heat? Yeah, cricket. So when it comes to other competition, when it comes to the center position, especially during the finals, Shaq is at the very least. He's at the very bottom. I don't care what you guys say. These are the facts. This is what happened in history. You cannot rewrite history and try to tell me that Shaq faced the greatest of centers during his finals runs with the Lakers and the Miami Heat. When he did face a center, especially a Hall of Fame center, he lost. He lost to Hakeem. He tries to count that I got Hakeem back, but you got Hakeem back when he was older, more injury prone, dealing with injuries, dealing with his own health. That's when he finally got Hakeem back. 98-97 season, Hakeem was out of his prime, almost a shell of himself. Everybody forget that time he was played in Toronto too. But anyways, he played against Ben Wallace. Shaq has been swept too many times. He's been swept. No, he hasn't been swept twice in the finals. Never mind. But he almost got swept twice in the finals. In the series he went against Hakeem Olajuwon on Houston Rockets, and then once again in Detroit Pistons. Shaq has never led the league in rebounding. Hakeem has. Kareem has. Wilt has. And I think even Bill Russell has. I even think Moses Malone has. Shoot, even Elvin Hayes has led the league in rebounding. If you look at the leaders of rebounding, how many times certain people led the league in rebounding. So if you look on here, multiple leaders. Wilt Chamberlain, 11 times. Dennis Rodman, 7 times. Moses Malone, 6 times. Dwight Howard, 5 times. This is probably why Andre Drummond has this in his head that he's the greatest rebounder of time. But Andre Drummond is tied with Kevin Garnett and Bill Russell 4 times. Andre Drummond's on that list, people. Elvin Hayes is tied with DeAndre Jordan, Dikembe Mutombo, Hakeem, and Ben Wallace twice. Shaq has never led the lead in rebounding. He has never led the league in blocks. We can go to that too. Let's see here. Everybody will go to, Shaq leads the lead in points. Well, yeah, that's true, but Shaq has never led the league, has been a multiple-time leader in blocks. 4 times Kareem has, once with the Bucks and 3 with the Lakers. Mark Eaton's on this list. Marcus Camby's on this list. 1 Anthony Davis on this list. George T. Nelson has led the league in blocks 3 times. Dikembe Mutombo, Hakeem, Theo Ratcliffe, Malik Bowe, Dwight Howard, Serge Ibaka, Jaren Jackson Jr., Alonzo Mourning, Miles Turner, Hassan Whiteside, all have led the league in blocks twice. I don't even think just Shaq has led the league once in blocks. So how can you say that's the most dominant? Yes, Shaq has scored, but those centers, the top 5 centers that I put above Shaq, have dipped their foot in that category of blocks and rebounds, leading the league in blocks and rebounds. Bill Russell, Wilton Chamberlain, Hakeem Olajuwon, and Moses Malone, and Bill Russell. See, you can insult my channel. You can say I can delete the previous video. You can say this channel's cooked because you think, well, real ones are going to know what Shaq has done, but you think your little peers around your age, oh, you know, I'm not even going to get into that. I was going to say this. Y'all don't take the time to research anything. Y'all do not take the time to research anything. I'm going to pull Dr. Umar. Y'all do not take time to research anything. Y'all just say all kinds of bullshit and think it's going to stick. When there are record books, internets that will reveal all. This time I will use stats because the stats back up what I said. Shaq was a very good player. No doubt. No doubt at all. But we got to be real with ourselves. When he stacks up against other centers, he doesn't fare well. He doesn't fare well against the other legendary centers. He's top 10 as a center, no doubt. I'm not even saying he's not. But to say he's number 1 in front of Kareem and Wilt, get the fuck out of here with that. If Shaq applied himself just a little bit more, like Kobe was saying, if Shaq just applied himself a little bit more, came in shape a little bit more, like Charles Barkley even said, the Lakers would have won more with that team. And I want these to stand saying this too about Shaq being the number 1 center, probably because they don't want to give credit to one Kobe Bryant because they think that Kobe Bryant was getting pulled by his his pants by Shaq. But if you look at those 3 championship runs, if there's no Kobe, Shaq ain't winning shit. Shaq has played with 3 of the greatest. No, I don't know if you can count Penny as a shooting guard. I don't know, but Shaq has played two of the greatest shooting guards of all time, and Dwayne Wade and Kobe. Well, Hakeem has never played. Well, he has played with a top 10 shooting guard and Clyde Drexler, but it wasn't prime Clyde Drexler. It was old and beaten up Clyde Drexler, because Clyde Drexler at the time was at 94. Clyde is born in 63 or 62. I think he's born in 63. He was already 31, or at least going 31 by that time. He wasn't the same Clyde that he was important when they went to those championships either, against the Detroit Pistons and Chicago Bulls 2 years before. So what are we talking about with Shaq? He got swept in the finals, bro, against Hakeem. And some say that Shaq's Orlando Magic team was better than Hakeem's team, which they were on paper. Statistic wise, it was. But Hakeem had way too many moves. He had too much going on, skill wise, that Shaq couldn't stop. And Shaq was a younger player too. Hakeem was probably 32, 30, 31. It is what it is, I guess. But yeah. Let me see if I can find anything else that'll put holes in these people's arguments. Because I just don't get y'all. Y'all just don't research anything. Y'all just come to my channel just talking all kinds of dumb shit that don't make any sense. Nor has he led the league in steals either. Watch, I don't really count steals towards centers that much. Has Shaq won a Defensive Player of the Year award? No. Has Shaq won a Defensive Player of the Year, MVP, and Finals MVP? No, there's only really 3 people that have done that. But one of them, nobody gives credit. Well, the 3 that have done it, or I should say, outside Hakeem, the other 2 that have done it, one, they keep trying to erase his legacy to put a balding fool that lives in L.A. above him. The other one, they keep saying he don't have no bag, but he's outplaying his peers. If you can guess the other 2, you get a cookie. But anyways, Shaq was a liability late in games. Couldn't shoot free throws. Hack-a-Shaq, remember that? Shaq was a liability on defense, especially when he got older. They had to almost hide him on those pick and rolls. And it still didn't work because he got freaking picked and rolled against the series against Utah. So what are we talking about here? That's not dominance. Those are holes in the system right there. Those are holes in his game. If he couldn't be letting the game late, if he couldn't make free throws, if he was a freaking liability on defense and pick and rolls from John Stockton to Karl Malone, that's why they wasn't winning when he got to the Lakers. It's crazy, man, how we don't research stuff. We just say anything. It's crazy. I'm just taking the time just to think how people even come onto my channel and say something like that. So sorry for the pauses. I'm talking about Shaq is number 1. It's not even close. What the fuck are you guys talking about? Steals. Shaq has never had multiple steals, a multiple time leading in steals. He's not even on that list. That's, like I said, that's more for a guard. Number 1 on that list is Chris Paul. Led the league in steals 6 times. Jordan is second, tied with Michael Ray Richardson and Alvin Robertson and Mookie Blaylock. Not Mookie Blaylock. Alvin Robertson, Michael Ray Richardson, and Allen Iverson. Come on now. What are we doing here? Let's see here. Blocks. Shaq is not on here once. I'm going to reframe that again. Shaq is not on here once. That's crazy. But we want to say Shaq is dominant. And he's number 1. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. Y'all crazy, man. Not once. Through the 90s. Shaq came into the league in 92. Not once did Shaq lead the league in rebounding. You know who led the league in rebounding during that time? From 92 to at least 2000? Dennis Rodman. Then one time Chris Webber. and then two times in a row, Dikembe Mutombo, and then Ben Wallace, Kevin Garnett, then Dwight Howard. I rest my case. I'm done.